With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll start with the option. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he is going to have a Ravens first down, as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The Ravens at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a run up the middle with Drake. And he's got room. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Now on first down, Drake again. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Drake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Shoves him aside, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. There's the fullback now. It's Keith Smith. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll try the air now with Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
They go up the middle with Chubb, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And unable to connect, incomplete. I give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action with Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
No, we change it.
Jackson running again. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy is simply sensational.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you
don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Faking the give. Now Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Odafe Owe so quick, and he gets to him there behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw is Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. Got his tight end, David Njoku. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
2nd down and goal. Watson going out wide, finds Chubb. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are back within a score. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 55 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Jackson's going to keep it. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
Well, let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you hit a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now, can they keep that momentum going? And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
A first down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Watson drops it off for Chubb. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
He's going to look end zone here for Cooper.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Like certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. And now a high kick, but he hit it straight up. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with a 2-point lead in hand, they may not do anything too aggressive here. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front. That's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They run it again with Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Watson off play action. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 32 on the play. So a good grab there. And here's a guy, he had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Now Watson going to sneak it, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They'll start by running the option to the right. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Jackson to throw. Open man is Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Hey, report.
From the 36, Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, and his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. up the middle. It's Chubb. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47.
81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On second down and 4. Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Well, it's him personally or just the offensive game plan. I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Jackson now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Returnable here for Callaway. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this.
Now Drake loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Chubb running right. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
A lot of pressure here for Cade York. This for a 4th quarter lead. York able to send this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll go again with Dobbins. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. That's taken in by Duvernay. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. On 3rd, here's an option play right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now, Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
36.
Watson. Oh, fires this one downfield for Chubb. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Hey, middle.
Here's Jackson.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Jackson. That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. Tucker's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
The Browns drive about to get started. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, are coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour, and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Ravens, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.